Hello everyone. It is Wednesday, January the 13th, 2016, about 6 p.m. And we're going to do a winter weather update, but we're going to do it a little different this time. And I'm going to show you the process that I go through to determine if we're going to have snow, specifically snow this coming Sunday, January the 17th. Currently, there's a lot of controversy about this on Twitter amongst various professional and amateur meteorologists. It does look like we're going to get some snow on Sunday, but there's a lot of consternation about how much snow and whether we should be talking about snow from a model that is 100 hours out. A lot of people feel that we shouldn't even be talking about storms that far out. And my personal thought is that it's worth talking about it, even though I hope everyone realizes that the probability that something different will happen when we eventually get to the date may be quite high. But I think you should have that information so you can sort of make tentative plans, and that's why I do more long-range predictions of winter weather and severe weather. I think it absolutely is worth doing it, even though things could very well change. So that's the thing you should always keep in mind. When I do a 7 or 14-day projection, you should take it with a grain of salt. It isn't set in stone yet. These models are only accurate out to about perhaps 2 to 3 days, sometimes only 12 hours. So you should keep all those things in mind. Again, I use the College of DuPage's Next Gen Weather Lab a lot to do these types of predictions. And what you see on the screen is the critical thickness levels. And this is actually for the GFS 0Z. That's about 18 hours ago. It's what occurred early today. And I have it set for about noon on Sunday. Again, DC, let me move this back to noon on Sunday. Okay, this is DC right here, if you can see the little crosshairs. And if you can see this purple area is relative humidity. And it doesn't necessarily mean precipitation is going to fall, but it says that there is water vapor in the atmosphere that could fall as some form of precipitation. And if you look at all these different colored lines, if we are north of these lines, all of the lines, it will mean that if we do get precipitation out of this plume of moisture, it's going to fall probably as snow. And if you look at the 0Z GFS at about noon on Sunday, it's showing that there is a plume of moisture over DC. And if we move this back and forth a little bit, let me move it back to 14, move it a little forward. This is 3 hours, about 3 p.m. on Sunday. No moisture over DC. If we move this back a little bit, this is 9 a.m. on Sunday. There is moisture over DC. So all this period here, we're north of all the critical thickness lines, and we have enough moisture that could fall as precipitation. That's the reason why I started to talk about potential snow on Sunday actually probably a week ago, because DC was north of the critical thickness lines and the plume of moisture. Now I want to move this to, we're going to take a model run of 12Z. That was the noontime run. Same amount. We'll move this back to about, okay, this is 8 p.m. on Sunday, and if you notice, we don't have any moisture over DC. But let's back it up 3 hours. We got lots of moisture over DC. Back it up a little more. A lot of moisture still over DC. Back it up more. A lot of moisture. And again and again and again. So the 12Z is showing that we have a lot of moisture over much longer period of time than the 0Z showed. During that entire length of time, we're north of all the critical thickness levels. Okay, if you saw my earlier tweet, the 12Z was projecting perhaps as much as 2 inches of snow by 8 p.m. on Sunday. And that's the reason, is that the plume of moisture would remain over DC over a fairly much longer period of time than the 0Z, and during that entire time we would be north of the critical thickness layers that would indicate that any precipitation that falls would fall as snow. Okay. Currently, the GFS is running 18Z. It's only 71% complete. You notice over here, you'll see it says 71% complete. Well, 71% complete will get us into Sunday. So let's select 18Z. Let's move this back to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Let's see, that's 8 p.m. on Sunday. If you notice, there is absolutely no moisture over us in 8 p.m. Sunday. We are north of the critical thickness layers, but let's back this up a little bit. Okay, if you notice here, this is actually 6 a.m. 6 a.m. Actually, this is 3 a.m. 3 a.m. on Sunday. Here's DC. Here are the thickness layers. We're north of those. And we're just starting to get moisture over the top of us. And if we move this a little further forward, we continue to have moisture up until noon. That's 6 hours of moisture over us, and we would have the necessary temperatures to support snow. Okay, I haven't looked at what the various tools that I have to look at various scenarios at GFS, but I would suspect that the 18Z is going to say we're going to get less than that 1.6 or 2 inches of snow. But the takeaway of this is that there is a pretty strong likelihood we're going to see snow sometime Sunday. It may only be a trace like we had on Tuesday, or it could be a significant accumulating snow. It's something you should keep in mind for this weekend. Saturday we're probably going to get some ordinary rain. Let me just look at that, what 18Z is saying for that. Okay, if we move this back here, okay, here you see, and this is Saturday, actually this is tomorrow night about 8 p.m. It's showing moisture over top of us. We are south of all the critical thickness layers. So that indicates that any precipitation that's going to fall is going to fall as rain. And if we move this up a little further, we see that that is going to probably get out of here late Friday night, and that through Saturday we may have a little moisture that comes through on late Saturday, but that moisture is probably going to be rain or a winter mix. So we're really talking about, with the 18Z model, we're talking about an AM snow event on Sunday. If we're looking at the 12Z run, we're talking about a PM snow event on Sunday. But again, the takeaway to all this is that there's a fairly strong likelihood we're going to see some snowflakes on Sunday. And it's probably still too early to say definitely whether it's going to be a trace or whether it's going to be 2 inches. But in any event, you see the analysis that I go through, and I hope that will explain some of the reasons and some of the reasons why I often will do a long-range projection. Okay, I'm going to leave it there, and if you have any questions, just give me a tweet at PatPend, that's PATPEND, and I'll try and answer them. Thanks a lot.